piece of rubbish. Hello, it's me, the Invertabarian. And the wee man. Okay, so one of my subscribers had mentioned to me that she has overcome her fear of arachnophobia. I was curious as to how she would go about picking up spiders without fear of them like disappearing somewhere, not knowing where they are, because she wants to be able to educate her daughter so that she doesn't then have the fear. Perfect. I love this kind of thing. This is great. First of all, congratulations on overcoming your fear of arachnophobia. Overcoming any fear is a huge task. That's why it's a fear. And wanting to ensure that your daughter doesn't have to go through that is also absolutely amazing. So I actually did a video about this on an arachnophobia group I used to run on Facebook. The group shut down, but anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a couple of really simple techniques that can involve non-contact with a spider and physical contact, none of which will harm the spider or cause any risk to yourself. Not that there's any risk anyway, but I understand the psychological concerns. So I have been out, I have, if you can see there we go. So he will be our helper in this video. So without further ado, we're going to go straight on to the first technique that you may find useful. Technique number one we'll call the floor runner. We've all been sat there on the chair, something catches out the corner of our eyes, and any arachnophobic person will tell you there is something the size of your hand doing Live for Christie's speed laps across your floor. If you're surpassed the point of jumping up on the chair and screaming because you're terrified of this lightning bolt shooting across your floor, this is your first useful technique. Okay, so this first technique is, of course, let's get our little dude on the floor here. Out it comes. Come on, fella. So he's running across your floor just like that. Oh, off he goes. Apologise for the state of my floor. It is, of course, the cup over the top. Okay, so there he is. He's ran across the floor. And all we're simply going to do is, it's not going to be very easy because my tripod is broken and the camera keeps falling forward, is simply do a bit of paper under, careful not to damage his legs, and there of course we can then lift this up, take it outside and dispose of it. Technique number one, the floor runner. Okay, so technique number two is our wall climber, the wall crawler. So there it is, it's sitting on your wall. You don't really want to put the cup across and then try and slide the paper up because sometimes you over tilt it, spider falls out. You don't want to do the hand underneath and try and tap it in because it runs off and people are screaming and shouting and it never ends very well. You can, sorry about this, you can use a piece of paper. There's some kind of glare on my camera. But what's really useful is these kind of shiny retirement type of things you get from wherever. Okay, so take your shiny whatever, create a wee bit of a cone and scoop it down to your glass like so. And here's how this one works. Okay, so the wall crawler, and this one's quite simple. Boom, just like that. Straight into the bottom of the glass. Easy done, simple funnel. These shiny advertising things are quite good for this because they struggle. A normal bit of paper they might be able to cling on to, but simple, create a cone and scoop the spider. Okay, so that's a couple of non-physical contact methods you could use if they're running on the floor or climbing up a wall. Two absolutely great ways of removing them if you want them out of your home. Now we're going to look at slightly more physical ways of dealing with spiders if you're quite happy to handle them. This would be techniques to allow you to do that and to look at the spider or put it outside or move it to a different area or whatever you choose to do. But these would be techniques for doing that. So this technique is going to be guidance. Now obviously the spider in this case is trapped within this plastic tub, making it a little bit easier for me to do this technique. But this technique is literally, you don't have to use your hands. You could use some other type of brush or something, but this is where you're kind of using your hands to guide the spider to where you want it to be, and just keeping control. And a great thing to do is actually use your hand. I know it's not really great filming right now, but use your hand to block it from running up your arm, and always try and keep it on your hands where you can see the spider. And as you can see, eventually they will calm down. Okay, so that was a guidance technique, and that one is really good, especially with larger, slower spiders such as tarantulas, that kind of thing. With house spiders, they can be quite fast, so you need to sort of practice using your other hand to stop them, because obviously your fear is that they're going to run up your arm and onto your head or down your shirt or something. So obviously once you've got them on your hand, it's learning to use this other hand as a barricade to control where they're going. Takes a bit of practice, but more often than not, they're not going to run up and crawl in your ears or something. So now we're going to look at our last technique, which again is a really simple one. Again, might take a wee bit of practice just to ensure that you don't actually injure the animal, but this is another technique that's really useful if you don't mind getting a wee bit more physical. So there we go, there he is, a model for today. Hey fella, you'll get set free soon, don't worry. So this one, again, it's not going to be great because we're kind of confined by this tub, but what we're going to do is we're going to take our fingers, and you'll see there's a bit of a gap in there. Now this one, as I say, it does take a little bit of practice, but what we're going to do is very gently, and again, very difficult inside this kind of tub, is we're just going to kind of pinch the spider. So we're not actually causing him or her any physical harm, it's just a very, and you'll just see how I'm gently holding it in those legs, and if I put them down, you can see there's no physical harm. Again, just takes a wee bit of practice, but it's a technique I have used many times over, and it's quite good. Even if you just want to get a wee look at the underside of the spider, it's difficult to film and do at the same time. Pinch, and always remember you've got to be quite gentle, and release. Of course, the most important part of any of these techniques is the actual physical release. Come on, fella, back to where you came from. Come on, be free. There you go. And this is actually where I took him from. It's my front door. Off you go. He actually lives down under there. Okay, so that's a couple of techniques. This tripod is doing my head in. It's broken. That's a couple of techniques, physical and non-physical methods. So you've got your on the floor, paper underneath, carry them out, very traditional type of methods. On the wall, you've got the scoop up with a bit of paper. As I say, trying to put the cup in the paper, sometimes they can fall out, or trying to get them to drop onto your hand, sometimes they scuttle off. So it's not perhaps the best technique, especially if you are in a room with somebody that then sees this happen and just freaks out. Not great. And then you've got your actual sort of physical method. So you've got the guidance onto your hand, and again, remember, guide it onto your hand and then use your other hand for control, just to stop it running up your shoulder, because I know for some people that's their biggest fear, is it bolting off. And of course the pinch technique, great for all kinds of garden spiders, that kind of stuff. Obviously if you're wary, don't do it unless you know that you're at no risk to yourself or the spider. The pinch technique some people use for tarantulas and stuff, personally not a fan, but if needs must, any technique, as long as it's a safe technique, is good. So that's 4 ways. Obviously there are loads of other ways people can do it. You could do a kind of a scoop and try and get them on your hand if you're working out in the garden. That work quite well. Over the top and try and kind of scoop them into your hand, or once you feel them in the palm, you can kind of lift them up and scoop. There's loads and loads of techniques, but hopefully those 4 that I've shown in this video will give enough that you know you can go on to ensure that your younger generations don't grow up seeing us adults run about screaming that we're going to die, because there's a spider running about. So I really hope that helps, and do let me know if it does or not. And sorry there's no wee man, because he's asleep. And see you next time. Bye bye for now. Bye bye.